So the last one was pretty good. This is Grant Travels coming at you from a Home Depot in I don't know how to pronounce this Texas town, Seguin. I don't know. Texas. It's just outside of San Antonio, Texas. I didn't make it very far today because I was shopping all over the place for clamps for the mud flaps. Safety department and quality told me to buy clamps and clamp them on there. That doesn't sound very safe to me because of the way I know that how that mud flap thing flaps around back there. Even at like 55 mile an hour, it's still gonna jump all over the place. I gotta crank them all down if I can ever find 6-inch mud flaps that'll fit over a 2x4 board, which I gotta have at least 4 inches for the board and another almost an inch for the mud flap itself. So I gotta have at least 5 inches. So I gotta have 6-inch clamps, and I can't find any. Went to Walmart, went to Lowe's, now I'm at Home Depot, couldn't find them. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. I just realized from the comments section that some of you like my going into the rant and the stories of my travels that I'm not able to video, because at the time if I videoed it, it would make the situation worse. And I was delivering a truck in Colton, California the other day. I didn't get the video that whole truck trip. I should have. Maybe I'll try and do better on this one. But I made it to Colton, California, delivered the truck, went to the library overnight, or during the day to kill time before the Amtrak train left at 11 o'clock at night, and went back to San Antonio. And I was at the library in Colton, California, and this guy that is your classic prison artist, he has the 3 tiers tattooed underneath his eyeball or whatever for, killing people or getting fights with people or whatever the hell it stands for. I've heard it both ways, that it's for either killing somebody or getting in a fight with people. My guess would be getting in a fight with people, being that he was in prison. My guess would be he was in prison where he got it, or maybe county jail or something. But likely not killing people, because obviously, unless the system really failed us and let him out, which I wouldn't think they would. But he was in the Colton Library. And he was there, I think, with his girlfriend, and Texas truck going by. Anyway, basically, where that car is, let's say, is a table of computers, and his girlfriend was there, and then I was sitting at a big table 3 feet from it or something. And I don't know if he came up there to try to get me to leave there, or if I think he came up there to try to steal my little power adapter thingy that I had plugged in the outlet on the far end of the table on their side, because they had 2 outlets on the table in the center, and 1 and 2, and I had both going, one to charge my phones and the other to charge that portable power bank. Being that I wasn't born yesterday, when he decided to sit on my corner of the table, or on that far corner of the table, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna pack my shit up and leave. So I went and grabbed the power bank right off the bat. Didn't give him no chance to try to steal it, because that's what I think his goal was to grab that power bank and go and take it and try to run away with it or whatever, thinking that fat white guy won't chase him or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, grabbed my stuff, packed it up, went to the restroom, came back into the library, and went to the far side of the library away from those guys, and went to a smaller table that's just a 2-person table that has the outlet down on the ground where I can guard it better, which wasn't open before. I saw that when I first came into the library, and that would be my preferred spot because it avoids situations like that. But the only spot I could find originally was that big table where that happened, and I kind of had a feeling it would happen. But anyway, so I kind of profiled the guy. He's got 3 tiers tattoo underneath his eyeball on purpose, whether kill people or injure people, or it's a gang thing or a county jail thing or a prison thing, who knows. But I profiled the guy. Don't know if he would have actually taken the power bank or not, until when I went to the little table, and it wasn't 5 minutes later, he came across from the big table he was sitting at to my little table and says, "Are we gonna have a problem here, man?" Trying to do his thing, and I don't know if it was his deal of trying to protect his woman or what the hell the deal was about. I don't know. But I had the gun bag on that I've shown in previous videos, and I said I'm not gonna have any problems until afterwards. And then I tapped the gun bag and I winked at him like, "You want to go ahead and try something? Just blast your way right here in the library." I didn't say nothing, but I'm going to have a real problem doing so in California, where they're not very gun friendly. But anyway, so I had another incident. He obviously realized I was armed, and that ended that, and he left me alone after that. Partially, I don't like even pointing it out or talking about the gun to anybody that I don't know, obviously, because, you know, it's a safety factor. In fact, that also in California, it was not a good idea to advertise that I was armed and had a gun on me in the library. Not a good thing at all. But at the same time, the guy came up to try to face off with me or something, I don't know, got mad at me for profiling him for tattooing 3 tears underneath his eyeball, which is going to lead him to what they call a classic quote-unquote low-life life, because he's not going to get a respectable job. The only job he can really get is maybe a truck driver or a tattoo artist, you know, something where he can be independent, run his own business. Then he can do that, maybe, but if he's smart enough to do that. But I don't know, to this day I don't understand why people tattoo their face. And they're like, I don't want the kind of job that people wouldn't hire me if I don't tattoo my face with anyway, or something. Yeah, I don't know, it's just stupid. Yeah, but anyway, somehow or another he got mad at me for profiling him, for having the tattoo on his face, thinking he was going to steal stuff from me. I mean, you tattoo your face, you shouldn't get mad at people treating you like that, because you know it's coming. You know society doesn't really like that, the look of it. So you can't get mad at me for grabbing my stuff, thinking you're going to steal my stuff or whatnot. And he might have planned on stealing my stuff, and I wasn't born yesterday, so I grabbed it before he could. Or he might have not had any plans to steal my stuff and just got mad at the fact that it looked like that's what I thought he did, or thought he was going to do. So then he had to come over and confront me about his whole tattoo in his eye. That's what, he didn't say any of that. The only sentence he said was, "Are we going to have a problem here, man?" Taking offense to the fact that I took offense to his 3-tiered eyeball thing. To this day, you know, I just don't understand why people would tattoo their face. It just sets them up for the wrong things for the rest of their life. You know, at the very least, it screams that you're a druggie, or it screams that you're a gangbanger. Or if you're in prison, it screams that you killed somebody. And why? I mean, yeah, it's to maybe make him look badass to the women out there. Maybe that's his plan or something, but in the long run, you're going to find yourself in a hard life after that, because you're going to have various employments that you go to try to do, whether you have a criminal record or not. They look at that and think you do have a criminal record, and they don't want you working at their business. And more power to them, they shouldn't have. But anyway, that was the whole story that happened to me in Colton, California 3 days ago, before I took the Amtrak. And now I'm back at San Antonio, Texas, and then this phone's about to die, so I better cut this off. But I'm in a smaller bucket seat thing, and I'm gonna have to sleep on the floorboard, or sleep sitting up in the driver's seat to do it tonight, which isn't the greatest. I prefer when they have the bench seat over the bucket seats for that reason. But this phone's gonna die because I didn't realize I was only at 15% when I started the video. Now it's down at 5, so that's my latest update. Catch you on the flip. Peace.